We're here, and we're live. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. So excited that we're here. It is another week, day one after spring forward. Oh my gosh, why do we do this? Um, I'm not going to go into a lot about my opinion on that. Um, but it is very confusing. And so here we are 1 hour later. What can I say? We lost an hour of sleep. So that means that we meet at a different time. I'm just kidding. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but as long as my child's new bedtime is 10 p.m., then we have to meet at that time. That's the bottom line. So I apologize if you have been waiting for an hour for me to come live. I also totally spaced out on announcing. I did announce this, but only on TikTok and Instagram. I didn't announce it anywhere else. So anyway, let's talk about why we're here. Welcome. I also have a new subscriber and I'm so excited. So, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm going to check your name because I do not want to mess it up. But is it Brittany? I hope so. Thank you so much for commenting on the previous post and for subscribing. I definitely want to, I don't want to say connect or get to know you, but I guess that's kind of like the point. But that sounds like a creep. I just want to welcome you. There you go. To the channel and to the community. There's a few of us who converse often about the things that come up in these episodes. And of course, if you followed me here from TikTok or Instagram, we can certainly communicate and connect there as well. So, welcome. My name is Graciela Moore. I am an ICF certified personal coach, and I love astrology, but more specifically, the moon. As a coach, I am extremely invested in the emotional safety and emotional wellness of my clients, family, everyone at large. And it's probably because of my moon in Cancer. So when you're born, you are born on a specific date and time, right? And we all tend to know, probably if you're a millennial and you grew up with the newspaper, right? Like early millennials, there was no internet yet. Internet did not start coming into homes until I was at least like 11 or 12. So there's that. And so in the beginning, there was the newspaper with the daily horoscope. So I feel like the daily horoscope in certain publications, if you've ever been attracted to that, that might have been where you started. The access to the newspaper and the fact that somebody had the job to put a column together every day with the horoscope for the day. And so, what is your sign usually pertains to your sun sign, meaning what zodiac sign the sun was in on the day, month that you were born. And so usually millennials, and I say millennials because Gen Z and Gen Alpha have all been born with a plethora of resources out there. So I'm talking, unless you followed an astrologer when you were an early millennial child, like on TV, and then learned from that, you might have left your curiosity at the newspaper daily horoscope. And that doesn't include the rest of the planets and where they were on the date and time that you were born. And so the moon was also doing its thing when you were born, not just the sun. And so I'm a Taurus, my sun is in Taurus, but my moon is in Cancer. And so all of that to take it back to why it is so important for me to invest time, resources, and attention into my community clients, not mine, but into this community and my clients and my family's emotional wellness and emotional safety, emotional development. Because if you are good in your core, if you're good with your soul, then everything else around you will flow in a positive way, right? It's not the other way around. I feel like we put a lot of responsibility into everything else that's around us, and not so much into what we put out, right? That's part of that mindfulness practice and part of strategizing and deciding, this is what I bring to the table, and this is what I am deciding to actually bring to the table in this specific circumstance. It's not always the same thing. And so that's what I love to talk about. So let's get started. We are in a brand new lunar cycle, and I'm excited for that. But we are still in the realm or context of endings, even though yesterday's new moon opens up a brand new cycle for us. Pisces season, the whole month that is Pisces season, is the end of the astrological year. And so there is I don't want to say energetic pull. Let's just keep the word context, right? Because the planets are doing their thing aside from the fact that Pisces is the ending, right? So the context of letting go to then jumpstart the brand new year is very much happening right now. And this new moon that just transpired yesterday was unusually illuminating in some ways. And I say unusually because the new moon, there's no light. The new moon tends to be pretty obscure, because there's no light, right? Because we see no light. And then the full moon sheds light on a lot that needs to really be taken care of. However, yesterday's new moon in Pisces was revealing. It was dreamy. I mean, I guess I should ask, how was it for you? Hi, Adam. Are you at work? Popping in to say hi. I love that little pink wave. It's like a Barbie pink. That's cute. Um, so how was it for you? We tend to talk about what new moons are good for manifesting, or what new moons, like the one happening during the eclipse season, you should kind of like hold back on all your dreaming big and manifestations. But Pisces wants to dream big, even though Saturn is in Pisces right now and it's going to be in Pisces until 2025. So I keep bringing it up, and Saturn is the boundary. Pisces is boundless, right? How do you put a boundary on the bottom of the ocean? There just isn't, right? And so when you think of the bottom of the ocean as in right here, then how do you put a boundary on ideas and dreams and hopes and just creative thinking? How do you put boundaries on that? We tend to self-sabotage ourselves, and we're sometimes afraid of all the things that are coming in. And with this new moon in Pisces, I feel like this is the best time right now. And I say right now because we're having this conversation about the new moon the day after. So if you thought that you were late and that you can't lost the window of opportunity to manifest or to plant some seeds of intention or to do your journaling and to then paint on it, you absolutely still can. 2 days before, 2 days after. This is kind of like the culture, because there is a specific angle that the moon takes before and after the peak of these moons. And so it's very conducive to doing the work, if you want to put it in those terms. And so let's talk about the new moon. Even though it was in Pisces, and there's an opportunity to be creative and dream big, which is what I call those seeds of intentions. Like, what do you want to put out there into the universe? And then, of course, commit to making it happen step by step, right? That's what the book is for. That's what my work is for, right? We are leading into the eclipse season, which starts at the end of the month with the lunar eclipse in Libra on the 25th of this month, right? And so these questions that the new moon in the book is bringing up have to do with how we show up in relationships, how we show up in the world. And I feel like they're conducive to dreaming big as well. But I guess you can let me know, because I'm going to ask you right now. Consider any behaviors or attachments that might be holding you back. I spoke about this today on TikTok when I made my post about part 12 of getting ready for the eclipse on the 25th. We're going to do 25. I have 25 items that we can think about to get ready for that eclipse. One daily, TikTok or Instagram. So what I brought up today about behaviors and attachments that might be holding you back, which is the question that I asked for yesterday's new moon, it's because I realized that I keep dipping my toes, mentally speaking, into assuming or perceiving that people's intentions around me are not for my safety, because I've been there, because that's obviously trauma. The trauma is coming up and I'm getting triggered. Does that mean, the fact that I'm getting triggered, does that mean that I am in an unsafety situation or sharing an experience with an unsafe person? The truth that was revealed to me this weekend is that no, that's not true. I can be triggered and it still might not be a red flag. It's me, right? And my trigger. It's me and my baggage. It's me and my energetic cord right now in that moment pulling me toward a vivid memory, Pisces, a deep feeling, probably, or just, I don't know, a thought, right? A word, a realization. Like the things I tell myself in my brain. And then if I repeat them, I'll believe them. And then when you believe something, you behave in a way according to what you believe. So your actions reflect, obviously, not just what you value, but what you believe. And if I keep telling myself that these triggers are true, then what am I going to believe? And how am I going to act? Peter Sobe in the house with some great wisdom. Thank you so much, Peter. Peter's in the house. Nice. So what steps can you take to detach from those behaviors and attachments and embrace a more liberated and progressive path? Pluto and Aquarius showing up in that question about progressiveness and liberation. And it's because these attachments, these energetic cords really do weigh on us, really do hold us back, and we're wasting time. And think about this. I don't want to, first I thought fallacy, it's not a fallacy. Then I thought nonsense, and I don't want to disrespect the farmers. I know that daylight savings was put into effect because of the farmers and because of how the farming industry works with the light. And I believe that. I want to believe it, right? I want to believe that it has to do about that, and not that some random, puppeteer decided to throw in some mind tricks in order to get us to kind of like be loopy for a bit, because it's not fun. But all of that to say, we lost an hour so quick and so easy. Imagine, or just think about how many precious hours you have lost in your own mental loop, that hamster wheel of insecurity, toxic attachment, and heavy pulling cords that are keeping you from getting up and doing the work. Man, I've been there. So that's for you to think about. How can you, what steps can you take to detach from that and embrace a more liberated path? See, the thing is, and I love that right now these questions are also coming up today, that the moon is already in Aries, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. We're about to start Aries season after the spring equinox on the 20th of this month. And so it's a fire sign. It lights the fire within. It is the igniter. I don't think that's the word. Initiator, I guess we can call it that. It's the idea that's going to come this week. In the next few weeks, we're going to, how are we going to put this all together? So you let me know how that transpires for you. But if we're being held back, and if we're being, bogged down by these triggers and red flags, and if it's real, then deal with it. And if it's nonsense, then get over it. That's it. There's two sides. So question number 2, what is a dream of or aspiration that you would like to share with someone who you love and trust? Hi, Nani. My sister is in the house now. All right. What is a dream or aspiration that you'd like to share with someone? And I would like to add that you know and you trust. Here's the thing. To me, someone that I trust to say something like that, like a dream or aspiration, is who can I tell who will not automatically bring me down for this idea or question it or be a Debbie Downer about it, sprinkle some reality to it, like, oh my gosh, I would love to just hop in a plane and go on the most exotic vacation. That would be so amazing. That's a dream and an aspiration. I want to go to freaking Dubai like tomorrow. I'm not going to say that to someone who's going to be like, you can't afford that right now. You have to plan it. Like, no, that's not by what I mean by sharing it with someone. Share it with someone who's going to meet you in that frequency and say, oh my gosh, yes. You know what? That sounds amazing. What I've been wanting to achieve is this. And just speak the same language for a bit. And if there's no one in your life that can meet you in the same frequency that you want to bring to the table to like dream big, then call your coach, because that's what we're here for. You want to go to Dubai? I'll get my pom-poms ready and we're going to get you on the next flight out. What moves need to happen? Let's do it. Now, that's not me. I don't need to go to Dubai. I can just watch it on YouTube and I'm just as good. I want to stay home where my cancer, soul, and heart are safe and sound, right? But if that's you, then yeah, let's make it happen because you deserve it. Now I'm getting to talk about Venus and Pisces. Oh my gosh, talk about pleasure and dreaming extremely big and profoundly. What is the deepest desire of your soul? Venus is going to be in Pisces until April 5th. So starting today, this is what I was texting Peter earlier, catching up and checking in. I was texting him because he's working on some paintings and there's a deadline, right? That right now, starting today and in the coming weeks, Venus in Pisces is hopefully going to help him materialize the idea and the concepts that he has for those paintings that he has to turn in. I know, Peter, I keep track of all of y'all, right? So what's a dream or aspiration that you'd like to share with someone, and how can you cultivate and strengthen your faith in the possibilities ahead? Like, that is so leading up to Aries season and really focusing on what we want to still bring with us into the new astrological year. We're going to do a New Year celebration again. Alexa, well, we don't need, never mind. Yeah, that eclipse is going to happen on a moon day. I don't know if you've noticed, but every month on the agenda has the new moon in gray and the full moon in gray. All the other numbers are black. And of course, it tells you that on the 20th, Aries season starts and it's the spring equinox. And so we have that lunar eclipse in Libra happening on a moon day. So we're obviously going to talk all about it. And the series of 25 ways to get ready for this eclipse is going to be done the day before on the 24th. So even the day before, you can catch up and watch all of them if you haven't. I will be reviewing all of them because I'm obsessive like that. So let's go to the moon. Finally. Oh my goodness. I feel like I have been babbling this whole time. And I am excited because I was also comparing notes between this Pisces season and my journal from last year. And the two previous, not this one that just passed, but the one on 2022 to 2023 and 2021 to 2022 were the two heaviest winters I've ever had mentally. This one that just passed, I did so much better. I'm so grateful. And of course, I have you and my spouse and my coach and my therapist and everyone that I know and love and that is in my life to thank, right? But the previous two were kind of rough, and I was comparing my notes, what I've been journaling lately, the realizations that have transpired versus last year. And what I realized is that what I am saying and the themes that I see in my journaling are very much on par with this shift into Aries and Libra eclipses, which of course I knew it was coming beforehand, but I still kind of don't know how it's going to resonate for me until I'm in the transit, right? I think everyone, I can let you know how it might feel or be, but it might still not happen that way for you, right? And so it made me feel very grateful that I'm on track, because that's also what I see in the social media. Are you aware of what happened with Kate Middleton and the royal family? Just say yes or no in the comments, because I don't want to get into it if you don't know, but it's like Pluto and Aquarius doing its thing and confusion and madness. And this week, later this week, like on Sunday, so we're going to talk about it next week, there's a Cassimi between the Sun and Neptune. So, Peter knows what's happening. So, like, they released a photo and claimed that it was a photo of Kate Middleton on Mother's Day. And it turns out that I think it's AI generated. I think the whole picture is AI generated, but they're calling it photoshopped. And it's just a big mess. And I feel like Mercury has a lot to do with it, obviously. But anyway, I'm here on astroseek.com, where I get to see where the moon is every day. And we're going to have a moon in Aries until really the borderline of Wednesday and of Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we go into Taurus. So I'm hoping that the dreaminess and la la land of this new moon, the invitation to dream big, will begin to start its grounding process of coming from as above to so below with the moon in Taurus. And more importantly, what's going to be conducive to that is the fact that the moon is gaining in light, because it's that, waxing crescent that it's already in. And by Sunday, when we have that beautiful angle with the sun and Neptune, we're going to have that first quarter. So that's the milestone to kind of be like, okay, what have we distilled from the new moon and everything that has come up and our preparations for the equinox and the new year and so on and so forth? What have we distilled and what are we deciding to work with right now? Because part of the reason why journaling is important is because you don't need to work with it all at once. Are you aware that you can pace yourself? Are you aware that you can make moves slowly and that we don't need to be in a hurry? Are you aware that even though we lost an hour, we have all the time in the world? It's like two things can be true at once, 100%. So, how are you making that magic happen? Right. And then, by Saturday and Friday and Saturday, the moon is in Gemini. And so the weekend will hopefully be, well, the first quarter is going to be with the moon in Cancer. So hopefully we don't get too attached to some of the ideas that will come up this week. But Gemini will make for a very social weekend. I wonder what plans will start coming up for you in the next few days. It might be, I'm sensing spontaneous or out of nowhere plans coming maybe during today and tomorrow's moon in Aries, and then more of a plan once that moon is in Taurus, and then people getting together on Friday. And of course, leave it to Miss Taylor Swift to release her Eras tour on Thursday with the moon going from Taurus to Gemini by 3 a.m. of Friday. Oh, my baby sister's going to be painting and doing a mural. I'm so excited to see that. So that's the week, y'all. That is the week. And I'm so excited to see what transpires and what you create. I'm actually working on putting one of my poems on a print so that we can have it in the kitchen and you can have it if you want it. I'm so excited for that. I want to paint the door. I want to paint a wall. I'm like, so much is happening. And the other day I realized that this wall was made brand new for season 2, but I never made it brand new for season 3. So now I'm thinking, should I change it all for the astrological new year? What do you think? Let me know. Like, should I make that? Should I make that happen? I'm just focused on some outside walls right now, like the living room and whatever. So that's kind of why I've been pretty satisfied with my space in here. And so I haven't really changed it much. But a coat of paint, that's easily done. My baby sister's saying, yes, do it. Of course. It's so easily said than done. But let's talk about the affirmation for this week. And then we can go into our meditation because it's a short little one. I harness the energy of new beginnings. Let's make magic this new cycle with courage and empathy. And I embark on this fresh journey with an open heart. And I love the word embark. I'm going to tell you why. Picture a port with a little bridge that connects to the boat, right? There is absolutely no way you can embark on the boat and leave like one foot on the dock or one foot on the ramp. Like, you just can't. Both your feet need to be on the boat for you to embark on your journey. And this is coming from someone who's never been on a cruise, but I've been on many boats. So it is what it is. The word embark to me really brings up the commitment. That's my sun in Taurus and North Node in Taurus talking. The commitment of planting my seeds and then planting my feet on the ground to really plan, strategize, and then empathy affirmation is huge, as well as courage, because if at some point I need to shift gears or make a new plan, or I realize that the seeds are planted, or I don't know, they don't work anymore, they're stale, or I killed them and they died, right? Because that happens, because life happens. Then what am I going to do? What's the new plan? Because I can't just sit here and berate myself about it, right? Because we're wasting time, precious time. So I harness the energy of new beginnings with courage and empathy, and I embark on this fresh journey with an open heart. How open is your heart? How does that resonate? And where do you feel that question in your body? That's very important. So sit with that. And let's all take a deep breath and go into our meditation. I got some Venus meditation music ready because Venus is in Pisces and I'm excited. And OMG. So we have the eclipse on the 25th. Then on April Fools, on the 1st of April, Mercury is going to go retrograde. So in the middle of eclipse season, Mercury is going to make us go back and revisit all of the things that have come up since, I don't know, the year started, we can say, just to make sure. Just to make sure, just in case you really didn't settle on something, here it is again. And this is why sometimes we feel like we keep making the same mistakes. It could be that Mercury is just bringing it all back or bringing you back to it. The hope of the universe is for you to act in accordance to whatever will propel you forward, because the universe is not interested in you backtracking. What is this, right? A movie? It's not. So moving forward is the law. So if Mercury retrograde brings something to you that feels a little bit like, I think I've seen this film before, and I really know the ending, or really hate the ending, I forget the song, then what are you going to do about it differently this time? There you go. That's it. So let's settle on that and take a deep breath, relax, and bring your attention to your body. Focus on your slow breathing. And follow my lead as I guide you through some breath work and some affirmations. With me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath in, hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out. Exhale through your mouth. Long extended breath all the way till you have no air. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and inhale again through your nose. Deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale one more time through your mouth. Long extended breath. And as you relax into that exhale, take a moment to really sit and feel the weight of your body nice and still. Hold and held. Peace and serenity in this moment. And as you surrender into the stillness, take a deep breath with me through your nose. Long, deep breath. Fill your lungs. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale nice and slow. And as you exhale, think of these affirmations. I harness the energy of new beginnings with courage and empathy. I embark on this fresh journey with an open heart. I embrace imperfections as unique expressions of beauty. I recognize that what makes us different is often what makes us extraordinary. I take a leap of faith to start the creative project I have been dreaming of. With me, take one last breath in through your nose. Deep, long breath in. Hold it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale nice and slow through your mouth. Long, extended breath. Hold it at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. And as you relax, bring your attention to this moment and to your body, and open your eyes to me. That was interesting. No, that was so good. And those affirmations are from the new moon. If you are new here or wondering, we're following Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2024 manifestation agenda /journal. Check the link in the bio. And if you get one, please give me a review. I love them and appreciate them so much. And they're so helpful when it comes to word of mouth marketing. As you all know, it's a one-woman show over here. So if you buy my book, please review it. Please review it. If you have good things to say. If you don't, then just DM me privately your criticism so that I can fix it. That would be very helpful. Thanks so much, Peter. I'm always so grateful that you're here. Grateful that you allow me to come into your life and speak and dissect all these astrological and moon-logical things so that we can make sense and prepare and do our best. I feel like if I know the landscape or I guess I should call it like the weather, right? We can call it the weather. What's the planetary weather like? That's astrology. If I know what the weather is going to be like, then I can show up as my best. And it really helps me with social interactions sometimes. If there's a huge thing happening with Leo, for example, and Mars, which is action, and Leo is like, look at me, then if I know that that's happening, I can then not take it personally, not be offended, and not feel uncomfortable when others act around me like, hey, look at me, I'm the center of the universe. It's my time to shine, because they're going through the same thing too. And it would really be a better world if we all had the same conversation. And I feel like, aside from a very generic and umbrella like talk on spirituality, without getting too specific on religions and cults and beliefs, astrology is a more general topic that involves us all because we're all on the same planet. It's part of the reason why, as an adult, I became even further fascinated by something that I have been so fascinated by since I was a teenager, looking into the newspaper before we had dial up internet and Google when I was growing up. And it's because I'm trying to understand the Pisces in my life. So I'm going to read their horoscope for the day. I'm trying to understand the Scorpio in my life. So I'm going to read what's up with them as well. And that was me. So here we are. Yay. Thanks so much for your love and support and questions, and for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. And also, oh my gosh, before I let you go, if you follow me on TikTok and you haven't subscribed here, please do, because what if they ban TikTok and it goes and it's just not there anymore? I would really hate for that to happen. But if it does, then Instagram or YouTube, please don't just go away and not come back, because that would be sad. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow on social media for part 13 on getting ready with me for the eclipse on the 25th, and next Moon Day for another live. See you then. Bye.